Today, as part of our Business Spotlight program, I'm with Jolita Puksmiene, and she's the owner of Sushmania, and they're a sushi producer, and they're based in Virginia in County Cavan. So over to you, Jolita. What is it you do, and for how long have you been doing it?
Uh, Hello. Uh, um, what we do is, so we are producer in Cavan, as you said, and we do sushi, but we do different sushi, not as everyone, assume it's a raw fish. So we started our business in 2021 with the idea to create unique product on the market and never seen. So we start working with the local products first, with the local producers like farmers with the meat and the vegetables, and I can keep going on.
No,
So
no,
we
no, that's
created.
fine. Yeah, you're please, yeah, please carry on.
We created in the last 3 years over 24 different unique sushi flavors. So
Mhm.
we have Aberdeen Angus beef, we have a Silver Hill duck, we have Clonakilty pudding with balsamol relish. So that's how crazy we're going. We do have a different options as well, like vegetarian. And when I say vegetarian, it's not like only cucumber in our roll. We have red pesto with mango. We have seaweed pesto. We do have vegan options as well. And we are very creative with the flavors. And the main thing is that we cook everything ourselves from raw, from let's say our beef is cooked for 8 hours before it goes even into sushi.
Well,
And so we do everything from scratch until the end ourselves, and our sushi is hand rolled at the moment. We do have a production kitchen, retail unit, and we also do the festivals and farmers markets around the country. We do trade in the Belfast as well, so that means we exporting. And the new project is coming up this week as well. We are tipping in the food and the tourism.
fantastic, fantastic, Yolita. And you started as we were chatting earlier. You started right in the middle of COVID, and you've been growing since then. But what do you put that? What do you attribute your growth to over that period?
I think that our passion, that was the biggest growth. No one believed in us. And when I say no one, it's true because people thought we are crazy. The couple who sells the sushi in Cavan, I remember our post market when we came in Cavan, and the other the stall traders were like, really? Fish in Cavan? And they used to laugh. But we prove everyone wrong. And I think our our both experience, because I started together with my husband, and we had the knowledge of the retail, we had the knowledge of the customer service, we had the knowledge in food, and both we worked with the food industry. And I think the passion and love we had for the food and the business and what we did, that's where it was the success.
Fantastic, fantastic, yeah. And I don't know if this question is relevant for you, but if you had to start from square one in business, whoops, there we are. Okay, it's okay. There will be
Sorry,
edited.
I'm so sorry.
It'll get edited. Don't worry about it. So, if you had to start from square one in business, what would you do differently?
Honestly, I don't think I would change anything.
Okay.
I know it was the hard work the way we started. We put, everything. We didn't, all our life was about the business. And we had a blended family. We had 8 kids as well. And they all were running around together with us in the markets and, stickering the boxes, and they were all involved. But I don't think I will change anything because I won't be here today where I am now if I would done anything different.
Fantastic, fantastic. And what have been your biggest learning since you've been in business, since you began in the business? Like it sounds like multiple, but what would you point?
Yeah. And what would be the biggest learn I did? Maybe confidence in myself.
Well,
Uh, just that I actually can do things. Maybe I proved myself that if I commit 100% what I do, I will get to the goal I wanted. And so that's my biggest knowledge. And you know what? I'm still learning every day.
Yeah, we all are.
I'm
Yeah.
still learning every day. The situations are changing, and you're just kind of adapting to them. You're trying to find how can you, improve, or can you implement something different in it. And it's still learning every day, and I think it's never gonna stop.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. I think I'm learning a lot more now, and it's funny thing about learning is that the more I learn, the more I realize the less I know.
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually go back in college as well.
Oh wow.
And doing the human resource management. I always wanted to do that was always my thing, but even now when I'm doing it, I found because I have experience as well, I found easier to learn and you kind of reflect, what you're doing in the workplace, and then you're studying the same thing and you keep learning. And I think the most important is that you're learning from the other people,
Yeah,
from their experience, and then you kind of think taking something into your business.
exactly, exactly. Hence this interview. Yeah, and I think you've kind of covered it, but um, what have been your biggest learnings as an employer since you began in business?
Um, that's a good question and tricky. Um, well, I worked in the big company, corporate company before, so we did had the goals. We had, all our um, budgets and things like that. And you spend the money, but it's not yours. When you're running your own business, you spend your money. So you kind of try to save where you can.
Hmm.
And maybe I learned, you know, to see different in P&L, just to find, where can I save it, where can I benefit, and maybe just more detail in how to run financial part of the business.
Okay, okay, very
That's maybe would be my biggest, yeah.
yeah. Well, this is the other question. As I think as we were chatting earlier, that a lot of business owners find a bit tricky. How do you balance your personal life with the demands of running a business?
No, I was hoping you're not going to ask that. um, uh, that's a tricky one, yeah. But I am a single mom. I have three kids, so obviously I have to give time to them, and I do as much as I can. But I think when you run your business and you're passionate about it, it's your lifestyle, and you don't feel that you work that much as maybe the other people see, because some things you enjoying doing it, and I love, and I think it's part of my life. Um, I do take time when I feel that I need to. I do. I actually went on holidays and I'm going again in December for a couple of
Fantastic.
days. Maybe my holidays is not that long as everyone, like 1 or 2 weeks. I take short days, 3 or 2 days off,
Hmm.
just to get back.
Right, right. Well, yeah. Again, that's kind of what we do with business owners. We show them how they can kind of extend those holidays a bit more because it's very common with business owners that they push. The business is demanding. Yes, it's passionate. Yes, but it's all can be all consuming, and you kind of push
Well,
in.
I have Yes, sorry. I have a great team. I have to say it. I have seven
That's
employees at the moment with me, and they are a great team. They all with me from the start. The last two girls only joined in September, but they have the knowledge. They know what they do, and I can trust them.
fantastic.
Uh, that gives me time if I need to take
Exactly.
off, I can. So that's
Exactly.
very important.
Exactly. The virtuous circle we talk about is the business owner hires the right people, have a system in place so they do the right things at the right time. They will then look after your customers, which should look after the business owner. So it's that kind of a circle that we're looking at. And I think you're well on the road with that by the sound. How many of you employed now at this stage?
Seven.
Seven. Wow. Yeah, that's building up. It's building up. Um, so what you talked about your team, they're a great team. What qualities do you look for in your employees and how do you foster a positive and productive work environment?
I think it's very important to trust your staff. That's the number one.
Okay.
They have to feel that you trust them.
Hmm.
And be positive as well. Create a positive, the place to work. Have a bit of fun.
Yes.
Don't be always, stuck like, oh, I need this, I need that. Just have a fun and be fair. I always was fair with my staff, and I think that's another very important because your team is people, and people have their own lives, and you just have to work around that. And if you see that something is going wrong or something, you know that person is not, you know, not himself, just go and ask what's going on. Like I'm very open to it too, and I always said and I think another thing is that I work with the team. I'm not sitting in the office and, close my door and you just come when you want. No, I'm actually working. And if I need to go to wash the dishes, I'm gonna go and wash the dishes. I'm not different than them.
Okay. Very good. At this level, you can probably do that. But can you imagine if you had 70 people working with you? How that would work?
I did. Oh, yes, please.
You okay? Oh dear. Um, I don't know if you can. Oh yeah, you're back.
Oh, I can hear you. Sorry.
No,
Um,
no worries. That they'll edit.
I actually, I hope that you can change that. I did had 73 people on the payroll in my previous job,
Wow. Okay.
so I have experience.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Uh, what I found that it's actually obviously that was I worked for the company, so but it's harder to run the smaller team than a bigger.
Interesting. How does that come about?
Because when you have 73 people on your payroll, and we had four departments. We had three food departments, and then we had the shop, the retail unit, and the departments have their own managers as well. So you're owning, you kind of, training your managers, and the managers training your staff. You have more supervisors, and yes, you have to be doctor, psychologist, counseling, and everything you can put into that. But it's more people there, more human, more problems, more, and but you don't deal directly. You managing your department managers, you helping the supervisors, and it's more people dealing with each individual, which is like if you have a small team, they're all gonna be at you.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, this will stand to you as you grow because by the sound of it, you're going to be expanding over the coming years. Um, so that's and when you're, I suppose, just to round it up, what are some of the common misconceptions about running a business, and how do you address them?
Mm, can you ask different way?
Yeah, what before people who are not in business, okay,
Yes.
they look in from the outside and they think this is how a business goes, but they're not actually in the business themselves. So they well, kind of misconceptions people would have is, oh, they've got loads of money, they're rolling in money, they see the sales coming in similar to their own wage packet coming in. That's a misconception that I come
Yeah.
across. So what people going into business, and again, maybe you describe, like, you went in the middle of COVID. People didn't believe in the business that you had, that you were going to go in. Their conception was sushi just wouldn't run in Cavan, basically, even though it was running at the likes of Dublin or Cork as well, and etc. So what do when you were starting in business, people didn't believe in you, they didn't back the whole lot, but you believed in yourself. So their conception was, or their belief was, that it'll never work. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, you're
We were
you're
told that.
yeah, yeah,
We were told that. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so what would be that it's a hard work. People think that, if you're business owner, you're just getting the money and you do nothing. I think
That's a big misconception. Yeah.
I think that's the biggest because it's actually hard work. And if you don't like a job 9 to 5, so when you go to a business owner, it's nearly 24 hours you think about. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. You should get that life balance, but you still, because you always want to improve, you always want to have new goals. And there is always something where you struggle at, and you maybe, you have to get over it. And it's not that, you come in, work 9 to 5, you do your job, and you go home to your family. When you are a business owner, it's it's your life. And you always think about it. You always think, what's the next step? Well, I do.
Yeah, that's absolutely at the start. And look, when you're starting off a business, the analogy we use is like a plane taking off. When a plane is taking off, all the engines are screaming. They're trying to get up. But once you get up to 30,000 feet, that's maybe the time you can start cruising a bit. So,
Yeah,
the,
you have to get there.
yeah, yeah, and it's. I think the key point is yes, you got to do you're doing everything, managing everything, looking after everything, and you're starting. But to have the goal, you talked about your goals. To have the goal, well, okay, at what point am I able to get a bit more time back for myself, and how would that look? What would need to happen? Okay, so
Well, our our dream when we started and what we said where we want to go, it was the franchise.
all right,
Uh,
okay,
not not the retail supplying. We tried and we did, and I'm still interested in it, and I gonna give it a go. Um, I still want to learn from producer point to be in a retail. I was as a working in a retail, but I want to be in different angle, just to try it. But the main goal is to have a franchise. What we have in Virginia, I would like to see happening more in different parts of the country.
fantastic, fantastic. Yolita, it's been great chatting to you today on our Business Spotlight program. I really appreciate you taking the time out from what sounds like a very hectic lifestyle between your
I'm
managing.
still enjoying.
Yeah, well, you're smiling. You're still smiling, so that's a very positive sign. Thanks again, Yolita.
Thank you so much.